Good morning, James One Radio listeners, and welcome to podcast number 6 of 30 Days of SPECTRE on this very good Friday morning. Assisted by my lovely... Assisted? That sounds a bit harsh. I'm co-hosted with my lovely
beautiful assistant.
my beautiful assistant, Mr. Tom Sears. Good morning, Tom. How are you feeling?
Good morning, Chris. I'm feeling very well. I was worried about 30 Days of SPECTRE. I was thinking that's a big ask. Getting 30 episodes out, one every single day of the week for a month, and I was worried. But we've got into our routine now. We're cranking them out each day. It's good, and I'm feeling good and strong. And I'm telling you what, man, I'm having a good time doing it as well. Talking about all these different things, going deep on each subject, loving it.
We love it deep. We love it deep. It's a good Friday.
It is.
Deep. So I tell you what is interesting. Obviously, it's cool because we're looking at different sort of aspects. Obviously, we've done a few scenes. We've done a few characters. And I know when we started this, we weren't sure whether we could do it, but we were thinking it's okay if we just, max it out a half an hour, maybe 40 minutes tops, we'll be fine. But, try and stick to half an hour. That's been kind of difficult, hasn't it? It's like, 50 minutes, but you can't help it sometimes, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I think it naturally happens, doesn't it? Because you start talking on a topic and then something comes into your mind that's related to that and you naturally want to go and talk about it. So it is tough. I don't think... I think we've achieved the half an hour time once so far, which is
not bad.
Which is all right. But hey ho, the more the merrier, isn't it, really, at the end of the day?
And today we're talking about the gorgeous Miss Moneypenny.
Absolutely. Now, I tell you what, old Naomi Harris, mate, ooh, on that red carpet, she looked absolutely banging. I was actually blown away when I saw her. I was like, because I've seen her before as cutesy Miss Moneypenny, Moneypenny, let's have a cuddle. Yeah. But that night, geez, damn, I was very pleased with it. Yeah, I was.
Were you? I'm glad you didn't get a photo with her, otherwise something might have come up.
Absolutely. Oh, there we go.
No, she looked stunning though, didn't she, that night? And in fact, in subsequent things, there was a post, in fact, we put on the other day, wasn't there, where she had that dress sort of cut into triangles with little bits of side boob showing as well.
Yeah, that was even in the headline, wasn't it? Naomi Harris displays gratuitous side boob.
Yeah.
And you know how we feel about side boob. So yeah, of course we'd share that one. Yeah.
Nice one, Naomi.
Good stuff.
So Moneypenny, new Moneypenny. So what are your initial thoughts of the new Moneypenny sort of as we know and love her?
Well, I think she's brilliant, right? I really do. We've said this before. The core MI6 team, the current crop of actors, I love them. I think they work so well together. I think they're great, and none more so than Moneypenny. She's got like that kind of I didn't particularly like the idea of Moneypenny being out in the field like she was in Skyfall. Handling guns and all that kind of stuff, and just didn't quite sit right for me there. But once you've got her in that Moneypenny role, there's just something really adorable about her. I don't know what it is. There's something about the way she talks and the way she sort of...
Yeah. She's got a great voice. I love her voice.
Yeah,
and
she just sounds really friendly and nice.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what you want from Moneypenny. You know what I mean? Somebody who's just lovely. And you know, you look at classic Lois Maxwell and you're like, Lois, and it's the same kind of thing with Naomi Harris, I think she's brilliant. I think she's that, again, talking about that scene where M walks through and he says, "It's not your birthday, is it?" I love that little interplay. It's so small and insignificant, but I just love it. And I think the more we see her in that role where she's actually at her desk, do you know what? I was a touch disappointed we didn't get to see Bond arriving at MI6 and walking through Moneypenny's office to get to him.
That's Bond 25.
But we will get that. I say slightly disappointed, but I love that opening scene so much with the newspapers that I'm not complaining at all. What they did was perfect and I loved it. But it would have been nice to see that thing of, him hanging out, flirting with her, and then the buzzer going, "Stop it, send 007 in." That stuff. I want to see that next time.
I think we'll get it next time. I think we will. And it'll be great to see, definitely.
Yeah.
But so obviously you're a fan of Naomi then, her interpretation of Moneypenny. But this time, obviously, she's still out in the field a fair bit. Maybe not quite as gung-ho as she was in Skyfall, but she's she's got her time away from the office, shall we say. But I think she's brilliant. Her voice, I don't know what it is about her voice, but just I love the way when she's talking to Bond, I don't know what it is. It's just something about it that it's just, like you said, it's almost like, you just want to be a friend, don't you?
Yeah,
sort of thing.
absolutely. Yeah,
She's like, it's proper cool. But
well, if we ever get to interview her, let's say, can we be friends? Let's be friends. Give me your phone number. I want to hang out with you on a brand new Tuesday or whatever. Yeah, that'd be nice. So I suppose the first time we see Moneypenny in this film is just after M's chewed him out. Bond's kind of walking through that sort of courtyard bit, and she kind of catches up to him with that little box with his personal effects from Skyfall, which was cool. And then obviously we've got the scene soon after that back at his apartment as well, where she shows up.
So why do you think Bond said to her, "Not now, come back to mine at 9 p.m"? Why didn't he have a look then, or even late that day? Why do you think he asked Moneypenny back to his? Because
that is a good question that I haven't thought about, Chris.
Do you know what? Do you think he always had it in mind that he was going to play that M clip to her because she was one of the few people he could actually trust, and with everything else that was going on, he didn't want to show it to her in the whole MI6 building in case other people were watching. So he's like, right, Moneypenny, come back to mine. You think it's all about a bit flirtatious, and maybe a bit of it is, but his main point was he was going to show her the old M clip. What do you think?
Maybe that's a good point because, okay, so let's look at what's happened there. M's chewed him out. He's got to stop doing what he's doing. He's been grounded. So immediately what would he be thinking? Right, how do I get around this? What's my next step to actually continue my mission that I'm on? Yeah. And then suddenly Moneypenny shows up and he thinks, okay, maybe this could be a way I can, get somebody on side. He needs
outside help, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And obviously M knew Moneypenny and was a fan. So if M is telling Bond to do this and Moneypenny's seen that, she's going to give Bond her back as well, and she's going to sort of back him up and stuff. So
yeah, absolutely.
I think that was probably his way of getting Moneypenny there, so he could show her that.
Yeah,
I think
that's a good idea. Yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah, because it was very flirtatious. I thought when I first saw it, he was like, "Oh, hang about, he's trying to get in a little bit of Moneypenny draws." But it wasn't that at all. But
it was quite cool though. He offered her a drink, didn't he? And she was like, "No, thanks. I'm not staying long." And that was quite cool. I like nice. The little boy flow.
Now that clip when he shows her the clip of M on the TV, is it me or does that look computer generated?
What, their clip of M? I guess it's meant to look a bit distorted for some reason. I think it's meant... What, you mean actual M's face?
Yeah, Judy's face. To me, that doesn't look like... I've seen it a few times now, obviously, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, that looks like a computer-generated image to me. We never heard that Judy was ever on set for this movie, for anything. And obviously, it's just, you could record that part in 2 minutes, couldn't you?
Yeah.
But I wonder whether that is actually her. Or, to me, it looks really CGI. That I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe they got her on Skype and went, "Judy, get on Skype a moment."
Yeah.
And then we're like, "Right, we'll call the Skype screen," and then that's what they used.
Maybe. I mean, that did the job, didn't it? That would absolutely the job. Yeah.
Okay, so here's another question. I don't know. Is this straying off topic? Maybe it is.
Go on. Ask it. Launch in.
I'll do it while I'm now. Okay, so why does M, as in the old M, Judi Dench's M, tell Bond to kill Sciarra? What does she know about him?
This is another question that I failed to answer. Obviously, the first one was yesterday's with Q's analysis. There it is. Analysis of the ring to link everybody together. But then we've determined that it was just a Facebook search. This one, again, okay. There's a man called Marco Sciarra. You must kill him. Don't miss the funeral. Yeah. So how Sciarra links back to Judy's M, I have no idea. Whether the fact that she says don't miss the funeral tells me that she knows there's a bigger picture than just Marco Sciarra, and that that's obviously going to lead Bond to the next step in the story. But quite what that is, I don't know. I don't know how that links together.
No. So if she obviously knew he was connected to something, perhaps she knew there was an organisation. She obviously hadn't heard of Spectre, so she didn't know about that. So perhaps she knew, okay, this guy's no good, but we know he's not running on his own. He's got to be connected. So, kill him, because whatever he's done before, maybe, well, obviously, when we're in the Spectre meeting, we hear that his duties are to blow up the stadium and stuff like that. But he obviously had previous duties. So perhaps Judi Dench's M was aware of his involvement in previous terrorist activity. So she
Yeah.
had him on the radar, but knew he was part of a bigger organization. So told Bond to kill him, to get him out of the way. And she knew that by him going to the funeral, that people of the organization might have been there.
Mhm.
And then he would have had a lead. Whether she knew about Lucia or not, I don't know. She can't have known it was definitely Spectre, for sure. But here's the thing, okay? So if she knew this, she couldn't have made that message after going up to Scotland with Bond in Skyfall. It would have had to be before then, because once Bond goes away with her, they're together pretty much the whole time. They go up to Skyfall. Okay, there's one or two scenes where they might not be there, but she wouldn't have made it in. Well, at least from the video clip, it didn't look like she made it in Skyfall House. And if so, how did she get it to him? So in that case, if she was aware of Sciarra prior to going up in Scotland to Skyfall, wouldn't she have told him about it on the journey? Oh, by the way, there's this guy you should watch out for, or something along those lines. The fact that she ordered him to kill him rather than keep an eye on him shows that he must have done something bad, and she must have known that prior to going up to Skyfall. I know this is kind of like one of those things where, are you reading too much into it? But it's still an interesting thing to look at, I think. Yeah,
I guess it's one of those with so many things in something like Bond, you just sort of gloss over those things, don't you? You know, there's a lot of that. I get what I like about this is the callback to Judy's M. Like, you actually called that out, didn't you? You suggested before, you were like, maybe there was something hidden in the Bulldog, like that would have been great or something.
Yeah, that would have been brilliant if they had done that, because basically Bond said, "Oh, it was in my inbox," basically, wasn't it? Something like that. But imagine if the Royal Dalton, she'd obviously left it for Bond and it had a microphone in it or something. I think that would have been great. I really do. Yeah. But it's still, it doesn't matter. But,
yeah, absolutely. So what do you think of Bond's apartment then?
I think it's cool. I tried to have a look out for the Birds of the West Indies, because we know it's in there somewhere, but I couldn't quite spot that. I love the way that it's sort of bare and minimalist. I think that's exactly how Bond would live. I don't think he'd have too many luxuries around the place. Yeah. And obviously Moneypenny refers to that. She'd come in, she's like, "Oh, have you only just moved in, or haven't you unpacked yet?" or something along those lines. Bond like, I've been here 3 months or whatever it is. So that's quite cool. That's how he likes to live, and I think that's bang on. But yeah, I mean, it's quite a cool apartment. But sticking with the Moneypenny thing, I think that's good that I like the part where she says, "What makes you think you can trust me?" And what does he say?
I can't remember. Ah, okay, very nice.
And then we see her walking away, and he's looking out the window, watching her go, maybe thinking, "I bloody hope I'm right," but I'm sure he is confident that he can trust her, because in this story he hasn't known her for long. She's basically shot him off a bridge, and they've said hello. She's given him a shave, and that's about it. So
that's true.
He's trustworthy quite quickly. I suppose she could have cut his throat while shaving, so that's you got to trust someone.
That's true.
If she doesn't do that.
Yeah, that is a good point.
But no, it was a cool moment, that Bond Moneypenny. It was cool. There's a good chemistry going on there.
I guess what we're seeing here is the first example, because we've just met Q in Skyfall, haven't we? And and we've just met Moneypenny. Obviously, both of those show up for the first time in Skyfall. And you're sort of building that relationship. I mean, at the very end of Skyfall, he says, we haven't been formally introduced. So that's how new that relationship is. Yeah. And then you have it more fleshed out this time where, okay, so she's asking that question, why do you think you can trust me and all that kind of stuff, which is something, if you were best buddies, that's not a question you would ask.
No.
So I feel like this film is like exploring those relationships a little bit, of sort of building it to what Bond and Moneypenny and Bond and Q will eventually become. Yeah. And I think that's done very well. I do like that.
What I think we've got to find out,
go on,
is where Bond's apartment is. So the part where he's looking out at the window as Moneypenny walks off. We've got to work out. I'm sure it's got to be on the internet somewhere, but exactly where that is, and then break in and go, yay!
And then up in the cells for the night. Would you, if you did that, would you be rocking the shirt with the shoulder holster look like Dr. No, or would you be in the bathrobe?
I'd probably go for just a shoulder holster, no bathrobe, but coming out of the bath in just a shoulder holster.
Like
that is a
Bond
rad
in the title
look.
sequence, just naked Chris with a shoulder
Do you
holster
know what? I'd flip it on its head from Thunderball, and I'd just be wearing a pair of brogues and my shoulder holster, getting out of the bubble bath with discreetly placed bubbles.
Well, I won't be coming with you that day. You can do that on your own, mate. But I'll happily support that. That's fine. Cool stuff. So there's that. So then the next sort of little Moneypenny-ism is obviously when Bond's in Rome in the middle of the car chase, which I thought could have so easily been tacky when he's in the car chase and they're doing the conversation over the phone. But for me, that paced well. It didn't, because at the end of the day, you're in the middle of a car chase. You're not going to have time to talk to somebody. But I feel like the way they did it was good, and it was, and there was that hint of flirtation again when she's obviously been woken up. She's in bed with that dude, and he's like, "Who's that?"
I like seeing that.
Yeah, and he's like, "Who's that?" And she was like, "A friend," or whatever it is she says, and he's like, 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, and I really like that, man, because that's proper like Connery flirting with Moneypenny. I do enjoy that.
It is. And then she was like, it's called having a life. You should get a life sometime, James, or something along those lines, isn't it? But I love that. So we've seen M with her husband before. We know Q's got some cats. Maybe, I wonder if Q has a partner. Maybe it's a man, maybe it's a woman, who knows? But he didn't mention a partner, so I'm assuming Q's single at the moment with just a mortgage and a couple of pussies. But it's nice that you see Moneypenny, and obviously he's not a boyfriend. It's more like, from what you gathered, it sounded like it was a bit of a fling, maybe a bit of a one night stand, or maybe someone, or not a long term relationship.
Yeah,
anyway.
somebody she's having a little fun time with. They've known each other for a few weeks or whatever.
Yeah, exactly, a few weeks, but she's just getting a good scene too every now and again, isn't she? What one needs. Okay, in regards to the whole scene with the car chase and the phone call, I have heard some people say that they weren't fans because of, well, initially I heard them say the pace of the chase. I think that's fine, but how suddenly you're almost taken out of the chase when they're talking. Yeah, that's what some people. I can see how some people might think that's affecting it. Yeah. Now there is something about the chase which I would have liked to have seen, which didn't really happen, but we'll go into that in another podcast. But I do like the way they're chatting. I love the way the whole the thing with the man, and how Bond's like, put that thought on hold, and then he's got to outmaneuver the truck and go down the stairs. And obviously he asks her to check out is it Marcus Guerra initially, and then Franz Oberhauser, and he's like before and after he's died, and she's like, after he's died, what do you mean? And he's like, just do it, sort of thing. But I like that bit, and again, she's there to help him. He can trust her. And it's a cool bit. So yeah, I think it was again, it's something a bit new. We haven't seen that before, have we? Yeah. And for me, I think it worked quite well. So yeah, I quite like that scene.
Yeah, good stuff. And the fact that Moneypenny is his mole at MI6 while he's going rogue is a nice little touch as well. Yeah. I could see Lois Maxwell doing that for Connery or Roger. I feel like that's a nice little throwback.
I think she probably would have done.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely, cool stuff. So fast forwarding a little bit, then we've got the scene in Rules. Obviously, M's in there having his late night dinner. Q and Moneypenny show up. And there's that whole thing about deleting the smart blood and all that kind of stuff, and that they can't help him because they'll weaken him slightly. And I feel like, as you said previously, I think you see that genuine concern from Moneypenny that like we have to help him. Do you know what I mean? Which is nice.
Do you think at any point retrospectively M has figured out, or at least realised, that Moneypenny and Q have helped Bond behind his back, or do you think he never knows?
You don't get to be M without being a smart cookie, so I feel like he probably knows, and at the same time he's probably turning a blind eye from what's going on. 00 section shut down. He's got to sort of turn a blind eye and let Bond do his thing.
We'll put it this way: the fact that he's seen a photo of the DB5 going into the type, the DB10 going into the type. Where else is Bond going to get a DB10 from except Q? I'm sure the fact that Moneypenny sort of turns up and with a map as well. I'm sure he's sort of thinking, Moneypenny has probably helped Bond as well. But like you said, it's for the best, really, without him. There are other more important issues going on, basically, isn't there?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
But it is a cool dynamic. I do like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I suppose the last time we see Moneypenny in this film is during that sort of carjacking sequence where she's in the car with Tanner and Q, and she's like, they've seen us reverse, and I think that's the last time you see her, isn't it?
Yeah, just before. Was she at the safe house as well? Just before that,
I can't remember if she's at the safe
I'm not
house.
Sure.
Off the top
but
of my head.
So she's in the car with Tanner and Q, and basically she's the one that spots they've been seen and like tells Tanner to reverse. So they reverse, they shoot, and Q almost gets shot, but he doesn't. And you're right. I think that might be the last Moneypenny bit. But there's a scene which we have to mention again, which is early on, which is when M walks in and Moneypenny's got the phone. Now, do we? I mean, we've said it before, but we've got to just play it again because it's so good. Like, M walks in, Moneypenny's. Well, first of all, Moneypenny's got this box, opens it, sees the phone. M walks in. Who is it? Admirer, and then the whole birthday thing. That's fantastic. Now, which points in the film do we see Moneypenny use that phone?
Okay, so I guess during the Rome car chase when he wakes her up.
Yep.
I guess.
Do you think that's a direct line between Bond and Moneypenny, and no one else can
I guess so. I mean, it's just a way that he can sort of call her off, sort of unrelated to official channels and stuff, off the grid sort of thing. Yeah. I can't think of any others off the top of my head.
Cool. Are there any other scenes? I'm thinking we're missing a Moneypenny scene, but I don't know if we are. I'm not sure.
It is tough, isn't it, when you're basing it on the memories of going to the cinema rather than a film that you've got on DVD. Yeah. So I think that might be it,
So what are your overall thoughts after seeing it of Moneypenny then, and of Naomi Harris as Moneypenny?
Again, I love her as Moneypenny. I think she's the perfect choice. I think there's just that sort of, her manner is lovely. I bet if you met Naomi Harris, she'd be really down to earth and really chatty and lovely. And that's what you want in a Moneypenny. And I think, again, like when we said with M, he's only going to get better. I think we're going to see more of that M Moneypenny relationship. We're going to see, hopefully next time we'll get that scene where he walks through Moneypenny's office and he flirts with her before he goes into CM. Yeah. I feel like we have to get that next time. And I think she's just only going to get better with time. And I think she's in it for the long haul as well. I think when the next dude takes over, she'll still be Moneypenny.
Do you know what I just had an image of, which I think would be brilliant? I don't know if it would ever happen, but imagine, I don't know if you need to see the first bit, but Bond walks in, but Moneypenny's not there, okay? And then you cut, and you think you're going into M's office, but instead you see Moneypenny, and then Moneypenny walks into her office, and Bond's sitting at her table instead. How are you doing, Moneypenny? Good day, or something like that, just to like flip it a bit, or something like that. I don't know if that would work, but I just want to see a bit of banter going on.
Or if there's a scene involving some sort of head where Bond throws that hat onto the hat stand, that might be nice. That would be a lovely callback, wouldn't it, in a future film? If there's a way you could logically make that happen. I think
it has to happen. It would be quite funny as well if he did it, if there isn't a hat stand, onto like Moneypenny's head. She wasn't looking, and it just landed on there. I don't know if that would work or not.
Yeah, that was another iconic thing in Bond that's just disappeared in time, isn't it? There was always that scene where he'd go into Moneypenny's office, throw the hat, it would land on the hat stand, and that would be his entrance to the Moneypenny scene. That was happen all the time, and that's obviously nobody wears hats like that anymore, so they just don't do it. But it would be lovely to have some sort of callback like that in the future. I wonder whether that's a doable thing.
What if Q does Bond like a gadget hat, like Inspector Gadget?
Inspector Gadget, that'd be nice. I'd like that, yeah. But I don't know, maybe there's a scene where Bond's at the races or something, or at Ascot or something like that, where he has to wear a hat and that leads into it. I don't know, maybe. Yeah. But there we go.
So what do we want to see then, very briefly? Bond 25 speculation is obviously ages away, but in terms of a Moneypenny, we want to see, it'd be great to see a Bond Moneypenny scene in Moneypenny's office in the next one for sure.
Yeah.
If Moneypenny or Bond 25 had a similar amount of screen time, sort of out, doing various bits and pieces, would you be happy with that?
Yeah, absolutely. What I didn't really like the whole thing of Skyfall with her with a gun and all that kind of stuff and being a fellow agent. But I guess that's the nice way to lead into it and tell the story of her backstory a little bit. But I don't want to see Moneypenny running around with a gun again. But how she was in Spectre, where she's out and about, she's visiting him at his apartment, and she's very much involved on that level. I'm all about that. Yeah, I'll bring that
there was another Moneypenny scene after the car. Sorry, obviously, at when Bond and Bond's in the MI6 building, and M and Moneypenny and Tanner, perhaps Q as well, are on the building opposite.
Yeah,
and M's like, "Oh, where's Bond?" And
she says, "I can guess." Yeah,
yeah, I've got a good idea. And obviously, they see the helicopter, and she's there when they see Bond and Swan escape down the thing. But I think that was the last scene. But yeah, so there was.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Actually, yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, there we go. There we have it. Moneypenny in the bag. Good stuff. Good old Naomi. We like some
I'd love
Naomi
to interview
action.
her at one point.
I would as well. I'd like to give her a cuddle. Or if she was, wearing what she was wearing at the premiere, I would like to give her a little kiss as well, maybe. I don't know. Let's get a little bit saucy with Moneypenny. That might be fun.
Lovely.
But there we go. So before we go, make sure you come and follow us on Facebook, or like us on Facebook, I should say. Put James Bond Radio into the search. Come follow us on Twitter at James Bond Radio. Come to the jamesbondradio.com website. Leave us some comments on one of the 30 Days of Spectre posts. Join in the conversation. You can email us through the website. You can leave us a voicemail through the website, which is all good fun. Lovely if you could come over to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we post all of our podcasts on there, and also obviously we post our extra videos as well when we visit Bond locations and all that kind of stuff. And last but not least, if you wouldn't mind leaving us a lovely glowing 5-star review on iTunes. If you do one thing, leave us a lovely glowing 5-star review on iTunes, because that really does help us rank higher in iTunes and attract more listeners and all that kind of stuff. So Moneypenny in the bag. Another episode done in 30 Days of Spectre. That's day 6. And we will see you tomorrow, as per usual, for some more Bond action.
We've got a very special one tomorrow, haven't we, Tom?
We do.
It's exciting.
It is.
Can't wait for that. It's going to be good. It's going to be a long one, I think.
Absolutely. Yes, it will be a long one. So we will see you in the morning. I've been Tom Sears.
I've been Chris Wright.
And James Bond Radio will return tomorrow morning with day 7 of 30 Days of Spectre.
Can't wait. See you tomorrow, everyone. Bye. For now.